I'm going to try to explain the chapter 3, the learning of a second language. The first part talk about teaching, learner, context, and other one that learning and outcome. The first part is the teacher, the syllabus, lesson plans, a teacher's profile. The second one is the all the factors that can affect in a positive and or negative way to our students. The context is how much opportunities students have to practice the second language. And the last one is learning is divided into part unconscious and conscious learning. And then we have the individual learning factors, and it is an overview. In this part, individual learners who have their own attitudes and possess their own personality and aptitude for learning a language. And some research has demonstrated that individual factors play an important role in success of learning a second language. Then we have the individual learning factor. They is affective. It has personality, attitude, motivations. Cognitive is aptitude, learning styles, intelligence. And the other is the age. Now in here we have the input, and it is the all information that we as teachers give to our students. And then it talk about the intake. In this part, the intake is the real information that our students are processing, all that they are understanding of all the information that we give them. And then we have some perspectives, and they are behaviorism, nativism, and interactionist. The first one is more worried for to explain the progress currently terms what is going on outside the learner. It is a stress to the importance of the input, and we need to remember that Chomsky says that there's not a match between the language that is observed in input and the language that our learners are produced. Then we have the nativism, and it is those factors that are internal to the learner. Remember that nativism says that each person was born with a determined level of knowledge in a language. And the last one is the interactionist. It treats to the acquisition of language as the rest of the interaction between the learner's mental process and the linguistic environment. It is a mix of the first and the second one. And then we have the role of formal instruction in learner of a second language. The formal instruction in a second language learning has been a highly controversial issue. Newmark says that the that, that the role of formal instruction is not important because it is more important the interaction with a native speaker and the real situation in which the students are. And the last one, we have the bilingualism and multilingualism. A monolingual person can basically communicate in more than one language. A multilingual person have interacted at the least one language during his or her childhood. It is the mother tongue. And then we have two more concepts, is simultaneous bilingual. It is when a child acquire two languages at the same time. In this case, one language predominate over the other. In this part is when mother and father are both are bilingual, or mother and father are monolingual, but children is in another country and have to use a second language to develop their day-by-day activities. And then we have the reference. And well, now I'm gonna talk about my own experience as learning of a second language. In this part, first was hard because teachers use old methods to teach us. And I'm gonna talk about secondary and high school. But when I started degree, it was completely different because teachers have a new perspective how to teach a second language. They show us that learn other language was not hard. It can it is not bored, and we have new opportunities to express our necessities. They all the time listen to us, and I think that it was a good experience for me. And well, that's all. Igual va a durar como 10 minutos. Y ahorita no se ve, ya si no se ve, no hay bronca. ¿Ya puedo salirme?